Hey there! Today we're going to have a look at something that is not a pen related item, but I thought it would still be interesting and I'll explain to you why. Sorry. I was contacted by Jackie from Leather on the High Street, and I have reviewed a Leather on the High Street pen pouch quite a while ago. That is quite a while ago. She said, would you be interested in reviewing one of our watch rolls? And I thought about that, and here's the thing. I am not really a watch person. I have 2 watches. There's nothing else. But I do know that within the pen community there's a lot of watch lovers. So I thought, you know, I'm going to do this, even though I'm not an expert, but it's a watch roll. It's not a watch, which I know extremely little about. It's a watch roll. So I thought maybe it would be interesting for at least a bunch of you out there, because I know that there's many people who really like watches. Okay, so Jackie sent me this traveling watch roll, which you can use to put your watches in as you travel, or I guess when you're at home and you just want to store them. It's made of leather. They do a very nice leather work, I would say. I like their pen pouch, and I also rather like this. So there isn't a whole lot to say about it right here. I'm just going to point the camera down and I'm going to show you what this is all about. Okay, let's have a look at this Leather on the High Street watch roll travel case. It's made of yarwood leather, has contrasting suede on the inside, and it has a little toggle for safety, which I'll show you in just a second. You can have it embossed with your initials, which is nice. There are several colors available. This is black, obviously, but there's also something very fascinating called oxblood and a couple of other things. You can get them with anything from between 1 and 10 slots for your watches, and as I understand it, the price is about £50, which, as I shoot this, is close to $70 if you really need to know. Okay, so how does this work? You can undo this long strap and then open up the pouch. Now, unlike with a pen review where there's all kinds of parts of the pen, I mean, it's a roll-up pouch, right? So you have this long strap, and then you have the toggle at the end, which is simple and effective, and then you have 2 more straps which you can use to really secure your watches. Okay, so here I have the suede, rather nice, and those pockets, which is relevant to watch lovers because of the size of I always forget what you call that, the thing, the diameter of this, the case. No, I forget what you call that. I'm sorry. As I said, I'm not a watch person. I just use watches to tell time, and that's it. These slots are 5.5 centimeters wide, so that should fit, I would say, a lot of watches, unless you have a giant oversized watch. I just want to show you how this works. Here we have my 2 trusty watches. I have a Seiko Sportura and I have a Movado, which I actually forgot the model of. You see, I'm really not a watch person. I just like them. So let's see if this fits in. That fits. This fits. I don't even have a 3rd watch, so that's it's really simple. I just quickly, I'm not gonna. Well, I should tie them up properly. I like the suede on the inside. It's a nice, soft, smooth protection for your watches. You can roll this up. Of course, it becomes thicker as there are watches in there. Just roll. I'm not taking too much care rolling this up. I don't want to take too much of your time. And then you just you slip that toggle in there, and you're set, and you can travel. And I am pretty sure that this would keep your watches relatively safe. I mean, if you happen to run over them with a truck, they probably will die, but I mean, a sliding around a little bit in a suitcase, I don't think would be too much of a hassle. Okay, now, of course, me being who I am, I don't really like one-trick ponies, so I thought, what else could you do with this? And I actually came up with a couple of things. So, of course, one option is to use it as a pen pouch. I am a pen person, not a watch person. I am a pen person. As you can see, you can actually fit a couple of pens. This is not massive pen, but it's by no means small. I wouldn't necessarily put an Namiki Emperor in here, but I mean, even bigger pens fit in without much trouble. It's not sort of like non-advertised functionality, so it wasn't meant to do that, but in theory you could. Another obvious thing you could, purpose for this would be a knife case. I do happen to have one or two knives with or without clips. Let me just see if I can make that clip work. Yep. So you could also use for something like this, right? And then I'm not tying up those things, but you could use it as a knife case. So I think it's a nice size for that as well. This thing is super heavy now, by the way. But I think there are some cool options, even if you are not a watch collector. But if you travel, you want to take maybe a watch, a knife and two pens, you could put them all in the same pouch, which is actually kind of neat because I don't see people storing a lot of watches in the average pen case, right? So I think it's nice. £50, I think that is not at all bad. The craftsmanship is good. It's not particularly coarse or anything. It's nicely sewn and put together. The leather is of nice quality. It's really, it feels, I'm going to say something that's probably going to sound stupid, but it feels leathery, which is nice. You have that satisfying feeling and that slight crackle when you touch it, which I think is really quite pleasant. So I like it. I think it's a nice pouch. Things I don't like about it so much, well, this is a very long strap, so to tie this, that really takes some time, but of course you need some length, because if you do have a couple of really fat watches in there, you will need a lot of space to tie it around the roll, so I understand that. Beyond that, there's nothing I really don't like about it. At £50, I think that's a fair price for a handmade leather product. It looks nice, it does exactly what it's supposed to do, so I think it's very cool. So very kind thank you to Jackie for sending me this. Guys, I hope this was useful for the watch/knife lovers amongst you, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.
Bye.